There are seasons when weariness becomes our constant companion, when the alarm clock feels like an enemy, and even the simplest tasks require monumental effort. Perhaps you're caring for aging parents while juggling work demands. Maybe you're a single parent running on fumes, or you're carrying burdens that seem to multiply rather than lighten. Your body aches with a tiredness that sleep doesn't cure. Your spirit feels depleted, as though you're drawing from an empty well. If this describes where you are today, you're not alone in this exhaustion. And there are ancient words that speak directly into this bone-deep weariness. Words that offer something our world cannot: true rest for the weary soul. Listen to these words from Matthew, chapter 11. Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart, and ye shall find rest unto your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. These aren't empty promises whispered into the wind. This is an invitation from one who understands the weight you carry. Notice how personal this call becomes: come unto me. Not to a system, not to rules or expectations, but to a person who sees your exhaustion and doesn't judge it. When Jesus speaks of those who labor and are heavy laden, he's painting a picture that feels achingly familiar. The Greek word for labor here describes the kind of weariness that comes from toil, the exhaustion of effort that never seems enough. Heavy laden speaks to burdens that press down on the soul, making each step forward feel impossible. But then comes the promise that changes everything. I will give you rest. Not you might find rest if you try harder, or rest will come eventually. No, I will give you rest. This is active, intentional gift-giving from a heart of love. The rest Jesus offers isn't merely physical, though our bodies desperately need restoration too. This is rest for the soul, that deep, inner place where worry takes root and anxiety makes its home. It's the kind of rest that comes when we stop striving to be enough, stop carrying burdens that were never meant for our shoulders alone. When he speaks of his yoke being easy and his burden light, Jesus isn't minimizing the difficulties of life. A yoke was a wooden frame that joined two oxen together for shared work. In ancient farming, an experienced ox would be paired with a younger one, and the stronger animal would bear the greater load while teaching the younger how to pull effectively. This is the beautiful picture Jesus paints. You don't work alone anymore. The burden doesn't disappear, but it's shared with one who is infinitely stronger. His yoke is easy, not because life becomes effortless, but because you're no longer carrying the weight by yourself. Perhaps today, in your exhaustion, you can hear this gentle invitation echoing in the quiet moments. When you're tempted to push harder, to do more, to be stronger than you feel, there's another way. A way that begins not with effort, but with surrender. Not with trying harder, but with coming as you are, weary and worn. This rest isn't earned through perfect behavior or achieved through spiritual performance. It's offered freely to anyone brave enough to admit they cannot carry it all. To anyone honest enough to say, I am tired and I need help. In a world that glorifies busyness and celebrates those who never slow down, these words stand as a countercultural invitation. They remind us that being human means having limits, and reaching those limits isn't failure. It's simply the place where grace begins. Your exhaustion doesn't disqualify you from God's love. Your weariness doesn't make you less valuable. Instead, it makes you the perfect candidate for the kind of rest that only comes from one who promises to share the load. If these words have brought even a moment of peace to your weary heart, consider subscribing for daily scripture comfort and promises of peace. Let this community become a place where you can find rest for your soul, even in the midst of life's demands. And remember, tomorrow morning, when you wake feeling the weight of all that awaits you, you don't have to carry it alone. The invitation to rest remains as constant as the sunrise, as reliable as the one who spoke it. Come as you are. Rest is waiting.